CPF Ultimate Guide series again, and this time is on Charge Plus One because I will be explaining about the supercharging strategy. And the recent update is that I have just lost this supercharging effect on my CPF account. So let's go through some of these details and what happened. First of all, to understand the basics of supercharging effect, I think you really need to understand how are your CPF contributions allocated. So I have specifically done up an Instagram table, and from here you can see that for those of us who are 35 and below, for our 37% total CPF contributions, it will be covered under 23% in OA, 6% in SA, and 8% in MediSave account MA. So what this really means is that if you want to supercharge, you need to know which are the account balances that are movable and what are not movable. And to put it in simple, clear English, what is the supercharging effect is that you want to use your MediSave contributions and supercharge either to your special account or your ordinary account, depending on the condition. Alright, so supercharging is basically taking your MediSave contributions and putting it elsewhere instead of the MediSave account. And just in case you do not know, this is a feature, it is not the bug, it is not the hack, it's just the way how CPF is intended to work. And we'll explain more in the details on why this is happening. And I'm very sure many of you will have further questions on the CPF, so why not join us at over 19,000 members in the Honey Money SG Telegram group for free. Ask your CPF questions and hopefully the community can help guide you to the right answer. Alright, so for the first part, we have answered what is supercharging effect. The second part will be how to supercharge your CPF. And to really understand how to do that, you must first understand the movable parts of CPF and the non-movable parts, like I mentioned. Okay, so ordinary account OA and special account SA are not movable, which means the balances do not move, okay? All the balances, the contributions will still stay in the original account, alright? So contribution to OA, stay in OA. Contribution to SA, stay in SA. The new funds will stay in the original position, original account, which is why they are not movable. So what is movable is only your MA, your MediSave account. And since your MediSave account funds are movable, it is hence able to be reallocated, which is intended for the supercharging effect. And the reason why only MA is movable is because MA, your MediSave account, has a hard cap, a hard limit of basic healthcare sum, which at the point of recording in this year 2025, it is at $75,500, and that's a hard cap. Your MediSave account cannot go above the basic healthcare sum. So the question here is, if your MediSave account cannot exceed the basic healthcare sum, then where is it going to go? Does it mean your employer stop contributing? The answer is no, definitely not. Your employer and yourself still have to contribute, just that this MediSave contribution has to go either to the special account or the ordinary account, hence the supercharging. And for this video, I'll give a specific example for CPF members 35 and below, which is my age group. Alright, so 23% OA, 6% SA, 8% MA. How is the supercharging strategy gonna work? And by all means, if you're not under this age group, then you have to refer to the CPF allocation table and see which numbers fits your age group and do the specific calculations yourself. So like I said, the first order of supercharging effect is that you need to have your MediSave account reach the basic healthcare sum, which for this year is $75,500. So if you don't have any basic healthcare sum, right, you haven't reached the cap yet, then there is no supercharging effect to be calculated. So the first order of supercharging effect after your MediSave account has reached the basic healthcare sum is that it will first go to the special account. Alright, your MA contributions will flow to the special account first, and this is assuming your special account has not reached the full retirement sum. Full retirement sum we have went through in a previous video, right? You all know what's the full retirement sum. Therefore, for people aged 35 and below, the 8% MediSave contribution will no longer flow to the MediSave account. This 8% contribution will flow to the special account instead. And remember, your original SA contribution has 6%. So this means 8 plus 6% gives you 14% of your contribution to the special account every month. Then for this specific example, I will be using the CPF salary ceiling of $7,400 per month for 2025. So 14% multiplied by 7,400, and this is the max SA you can get after the supercharging effect, which is $1,036 going into your special account every month, assuming your monthly base salary is at least $7,400. for year 2025. Of course, if you have a lower salary, then you just use 14% multiplied by whatever your gross salary is. And this will give you the total special account contributions you will have every month. So that was for the first order. Let's cover the second order. What if your special account has already reached the full retirement sum? Then you have to remember our movable order and non-movable order. OA and SA are not movable, right? So your SA contributions, the 6%, will still continue at the 6%. But what about your Medisave contributions now, the movable part, the 8%? Where does it flow to? Now, for the second order, since your special account has already reached the full retirement sum, your Medisave account contributions cannot, okay, and will not go to the special account anymore. Alright, even though FRS is not a hard cap. So now your Medisave 8% contributions will go to the OA instead of the SA. I repeat again, the 8% MA will go to the OA. And remember, OA is how much? 23%. So 8% from MA add to 23% of OA, total 31% of your gross salary going into your ordinary account every month. And assuming you hit the CPF salary ceiling of $7,400 per month, so 7,400 multiplied by 31%, which will give you $2,294. That's a lot of money, right? And that's just for one person's CPF account, you know. If you're a couple and both of you earn 7,400 and above, and assuming you have this supercharge strategy, 31% of contributions to your OA from 7,400 monthly base salary, 2,294 multiplied by 2 people. That is how much, you know? That's almost 4.6K. And since you have so much OA contributions, either you can use it for your property, all right? Some of you will want to buy a higher value property. This is where your CPF OA can help you finance that mortgage. Or if you prefer, other than property, you want to look at investing your OA, then this is where you can do investments with your CPF OA as well. And for CPF OA investments, do you know that a monthly unit trust are now available on Poems? And this gets me excited because Poems offers zero sales charge and zero platform fees, which means that they are probably the cheapest platform for you to invest your CPF OA or SRS funds, especially with the new Monthly Prime USA fund, which tracks the performance of so active GBS US large and mid cap index that is very similar to the S&P 500 index. Most importantly, it has very low management fee of 0.05%, which is suitable for passive investing. To buy this fund on Poems Mobile 3 app, go to the Markets tab, search icon, then search Monthly Prime and click on UT. Then click on Monthly Prime USA and you can place your buy order. For a more consistent investment strategy, you may also use RSP to dollar cost average the Monthly Prime USA funds with 0% sales charge as well. Also, for customers new to Poems, you can use my exclusive link to sign up for a Poems account and get welcome gifts of 5% per annum guaranteed return with Smart Park till 10 of March 2025 and up to $88 of fractional shares when you fulfill the funding and buy trade requirements and the holding period. Terms and conditions apply. So if you want to build your retirement funds and invest for the long term, click the link here or scan the QR code here to find out more about Poems. So if you want to learn of the supercharging effect, I already explained it. That's all you need to know. But if you want to be more kaypoh, busybody, you want to know why I lost my supercharging strategy, then I'm here to really announce that since December 2024, when I announced my CPF strategy for 2025, I mentioned that I will not be topping up my Medisave account to the basic healthcare sum, which is $75,500 for year 2025. And the main reason is because I no longer need that tax relief from voluntary contribution to Medisave account. My tax level is really optimized, so at the time being, I do not need these contributions for tax relief, which is why I will not be at the basic healthcare sum. So fundamentally, if you remember what I mentioned at the earlier part of this video, to have the supercharging effect, you will need basic healthcare sum in your Medisave account. And since I do not have the Medisave account at BHS in year 2025, then I will not have any supercharging effect. I will still follow the 23% OA, 6% SA, and 8% MA. Okay, no supercharge to my OA. And let's come to this conclusion of the CPF supercharging strategy. I would say that it's really useful for those early career people in your early 20s or late 20s where you want to build out a sizable CPF portfolio fund, right? Like myself, I top up to my CPF accounts in my mid-20s, starting from the basic healthcare sum in the Medisave account, then full retirement sum in the special account, and hence I enjoyed that supercharging strategy in my early 30s. So I am indeed a living example of executing this supercharging strategy, which I believe is not the norm for many people around my age, because most people, they only reach it like their late 30s, early 40s, because when they're younger, they may not be so well informed of CPF and how it benefits them in the long term. But right now, as of 2025, I must mention again that I'm not having any supercharging CPF effect because my MediSave account is not at BHS, and it may happen to you as well, where along the years, then you realize you don't need so much tax relief, you want to reduce your income, your salary, and all that. Then you may realize this supercharging effect is not for everyone, It will only be effective when your MediSave account is at the basic healthcare sum. So how to really reach the supercharging effect faster is that, like I said, the basis, you need to hit basic healthcare sum, so you have to do the voluntary contribution to your MediSave account first. That will be the first step. Then secondly, when you reach the second leg, which is where you want to hit the full retirement sum in your special account, you can either do the retirement sum top up to your special account, or you can do OA to SA transfer. And I know that OA to SA transfer is a very taboo word nowadays, because even all these popular people on the finance space are telling you not to do that. But I did. I'm one of those few people who did OA to SA transfer even in my late 20s, and I still have not regret that decision, because I've really understood the effects of supercharging in my long-term CPF retirement plan. And even so, I have no problems purchasing my first property and such, even though many people would tell you that. So I guess it's about time for the version 2 of the transfer plus 1 video, because it has been 2 years since I talked about OA to SA transfer. Do comment transfer plus 1 if you want me to talk about OA to SA transfer, because I think it's going to get very exciting in the comments when people kind of disagree with your views. And if you haven't heard of these 7 CPF changes that you should know in 2025, be sure to check out this video right here.